What's up, everybody? Welcome to World at War Comics. Back again, Mr. Daniel Henriques. We also are waiting for Jonathan. He'll be here in a moment. And then we got Mark Tiny Spawny back again. Daniel, how you been, my friend?
I'm doing really good. And I will preface this right away. Jonathan is not here yet because of me. I messed up the timelines and told Jonathan it started in an hour. So he will show up eventually.
He will. So, Corey, you got to rephrase that and to say Daniel. Not
right.
Jonathan's going to see that and kill Daniel.
In a way that then Jonathan won't verbally slap me because it's my mistake.
It's good to have you back, though, Daniel, man. I've absolutely loved the Curse of Sherlee Johnson. I reached out to you because, and maybe we could talk about this for a second, but we had, I saw Santa. I had it here. Right here. I saw Santa, which was a lot of fun, man. And there is a little a prequel of Sherlee that
yes.
What's up, Will?
It's a fun cameo.
It's a fun cameo, man. I was like, wait, Sherlee?
Yep.
So it kind of tells you the timeline of when this story took place then.
The only thing I wished there, and of course it's not my book. I have absolutely no input. I was just happy when Chris was like, "Hey, what do you think if I use Sherlee in this little bit?" I wish they would have used like the actual costume she had in issue 5. Like to have 100% that recognition of her, but I mean, it was really, really cool. I was pretty happy with that. And Thomas also used her Sherlee and the Stranger in this latest issue of Henriques, so it was pretty fun.
Yeah, I saw that,
and I think it was in your channel here, if I'm not mistaken, because didn't you have Thomas recently? Or am I confusing it with somebody else?
No, I haven't had Thomas yet. I'm trying to get him on, so hopefully I could get him because I love it. But Healy. Yes, I had Healy.
Thomas Healy. Yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I just had him on. I don't know when it was. That was the day, Mark, you were busy. You couldn't make it.
And I had class that night.
Yeah. So I had him on. It was fun, man.
Because I just found it funny because Thomas was like, and I talked to this guy and I talked to that guy and then I talked to Daniel to use Sherlee, and I talked to the Bloodletter guys and they were really happy. And then Daniel was like, Thomas, will that work within the timeline? And I was like, I mean, I gotta kind of protect it. Yeah, but it's always super fun, and I mean, it is hell, and we play with time. It's 100% possible, and I'm just happy to have Sherlee in all these books.
Yeah, exactly. No, it was hilarious. And he gave high praise, because I think Thomas is a walking encyclopedia. And I know you're a walking encyclopedia, but he gave a lot of praise. He goes, Tommy, just to be honest, I reach out to Daniel sometimes when I'm not 100% clear. And this guy reads every book
I do
for editing purposes. So.
And I am on my way of reading the entire kind of batch of everything Spawn again. So I refresh every now and then.
Yeah. So you have the omnibuses, and that's what you go through?
No, I have, because you got to remember I'm from Portugal, so I have about 50 different collections in single issues in different kinds of trades, in Portuguese trades, like. It's a amalgamation. Only from issue 100 forward, I have every single issue. Always just a single issue because I started. I put it on my pull list, and it's when I started collecting regularly. Was on issue 100. So from before that, it's a crazy mishmash of different trades.
The good thing, though, Daniel, is 1 through 100, at least like 1 through 80, is fairly easier to get. You have the hardest ones to get, especially when you get to like 179, 180, and then to like almost 300.
It's like the mid 200s. Those were like the low print ones. Those are the ones you're going to pay a lot for. Luckily, I have a complete run.
You guys are collectors. I'm about to tell you something that I'm going to horrify you because I've had again Spawn on my pull list since then, and I love my local comic book shop, but sometimes they would make some mistakes in order extra. And, I wouldn't notice and I would just buy extra. And then one day I was just going through stuff. I was like, why do I have like 2 or 3 different ones of this, first appearance of Cowboy Spawn and whatever and what in a little, which is highly sought after books nowadays. And I gave it to my baby daughter who destroyed them all.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I wasn't aware that they actually, because I'm one of those guys who doesn't really collect for value. Mine are all beaten up in red. I read them a lot, so I just was like, oh, I have extras here. These are not very bloody, play with it. Oh,
yeah. I don't collect I'm not in it for like the value to sell whatever like that. So every week when I get my books, I get like a reader copy, so I can do whatever I want with it. I don't care. Thumb through it, bend it, and then keep the other ones put up.
Yeah, this is the guy that when the 1 in 100 comes out, Mark buys 100 to make sure he gets the 1 in 100. So
okay, the only one that I'm doing that with, that I'm willing to go that far with, is the Gunslinger next month. That one I'm going with. But but on the most recent issue of the Curse of Sherlee Johnson, I did get the 1 in 25 incentive cover. I did get that one for the.
I mean, I will say
3.
that though.
Yeah.
Frank Miller and Todd McFarlane, it's hard to pass that up.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, I had to get that one, but yeah, issue 100, like, and I'm a hardcore Gunslinger fan, but the 1 in 100 cover, that's as high as I'm willing to go.
Yeah. It is like the amount of people who are going after these 1 in 1,000s and the sketches and everything. This was a lot of craziness.
Oh, that was a bloodbath, man. Those things are going for some big money right now.
Oh, are they?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's I've seen one go for the high like 7. I've seen one go for 7,000, one for 9,000. Wow. There might be one. I think 9's the highest I've seen.
Yep.
But yeah, they're going.
Yeah,
they're pretty popular.
Yeah. See, look, there's already somebody saying that the cameo in Book of Nyx didn't make sense. See what I told Thomas?
Yeah.
No. But if you think about it, though, I don't think, and I would have to, and I did read Nyx. I don't think they specify exactly when she shows up in hell.
The way that I took the cameo in Nyx was, it was just like a vision that she had. It wasn't right. I don't think it was happening at that exact moment. She was just seeing like a couple flashes in time.
So imagine if it is in the future, and Shirley and the Stranger are still to see this apparition of Nyx from the past. It could still work. We can make it work.
Yeah, I felt that it was. I did not feel that it was out of place. That's the way that I took it.
And again, like Thomas said, it's comics is just a nice cameo and fun. So like I would.
I thought it was an honor that he gave a nod to you guys.
100%
in the book
in Bloodletter, which is like such a cool book too. Yeah,
in Seeley and Joe Illich. Yeah, that was awesome. Yeah. And just so you know, you could get all the trades and the compendiums, so they're available. I know the issues.
I have those too.
Yeah, I got those too.
I have all the compendiums, the trade paperbacks.
You have the compendium too. That's the one I beat up and read.
Oh yeah.
That way my comics.
Jonathan should be trying to enter. I was sending him because he said it was. Oh.
Hey, what's up?
What's up, John? Hey, you all right, man?
Yeah, I'm all
right. Good to see you, man. Thank you so much for hanging out with us.
Yeah, no problem.
You have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, it was all right.
We're
all sick. Yeah. Colds.
That sucks, man. The whole family?
Yeah. No, just a couple of us.
Yeah.
Enough of us, though. Yeah.
I already gave proper acknowledgement to everybody that I messed up completely the time and got you coming a bit late because of that. It's these foreigners can't tell the time.
All good, guys. All good, man. Well, I'm excited to talk to both of you. Do you think, Jonathan? Yeah. We were just talking, Jonathan, about the popularity of Shirley showing up in some other Spawn issues like Book of Nyx, issue 5. I Saw Santa. We get, I will say, Daniel, she probably in her pajamas.
Right.
So that's probably why she wasn't wearing her outfit, but pretty awesome, man. I reached out to Daniel, go, Daniel, is that the same Shirley I'm thinking of? He's like, yep. So hopefully we get some more of her kind of floating around the Spawn universe too. That'd be awesome.
I mean, again, we're all for it.
Just that damn timeline, man.
You're right.
Well, let's jump in, man. Let's jump into issue 3. A lot's going down. We had near-death experiences in issue 2, and we jumped right into issue 3, and I think we're getting like a lot more understanding of what the hell's taking place, which was a lot of excitement, man. I don't know, Mark, where do you want to start, man?
Well, I thought that this this guard or this sentry that was coming to life at the very beginning, I thought it was going to be really cool, but then the guy just like kicks him to the curb and to the wall and says, "This is garbage. What are you doing? Get this out of my way." I thought it was going to be like some new introduction, but no. Yeah, no. I thought that was pretty funny.
It is an introduction. That character will show up more. It's just one of those things. And again, that like me and Jonathan have been saying, that we want this to be lived in. We're not starting at the beginning of Bellefonte plans on all of that. So he's already been through a lot of this. And that relic or whatever, I forgot how he calls them, it wasn't even supposed to be online. It's been like decommissioned for like centuries. And it just came back to power over, Nyx's agent who was on Earth killing everybody. So there was like this influx of souls that made that guard kind of come back to life. But again, it's just a little spark of him waking up, and like even that whole interaction of Bellefonte just kind of shaming him. That's all, John was like, "Get out of here." Like I love the body language in those pages.
Yeah, I like
so
the way
simple too, man. Just I ain't got time for that. Ain't nobody got time for this.
Yeah, it's like the way you started the issue with that. Just get out of my way. I'm on a mission.
It was
I don't even remember the issue actually.
Yeah, I had to go back and reread it just a little while ago.
Because if you remember, John, it's that whole sequence of Bellefonte is going through, and he's going through his lair and then through like the roses and all of that. Like I love that.
I saw this, Daniel. I'm like, oh shit, here it goes. It's about to go down, and then the next page, like, well, that was fast.
He's like, nope.
Yeah. Again, just trying to still catch the ongoing story.
Yeah. Incredible, man.
But so then, as we get into it, though, we find out that number one, Sherlee has been been in that loop for, you said, close to a century.
Yeah.
Is what it said?
Yeah.
Okay. And then they want to come out and say that she wasn't the actual true target to begin with.
Yeah. I was surprised with that.
Well, because again, this is all news for Bellefonte as well, in a sense, because he had a plan. He did his deal with Clown, whatever Sherlee has, and he's been having her in that experiment for a purpose, trying to kind of tap into the powers that she has, per se. But now there's this, and again, this is not a spoiler. The book's been out, like this ancient Nephilim, which is the stranger, or which is like this pure power battery. And he's like, okay, wait, this Sherlee girl, she's powerful. We could get something out of her to kickstart this other being that we also show in that badass splash. Again, I'm going to keep praising Jonathan on this issue, because this issue for me is just like out of this world. That splash page of him in the tank with the creature. No, the one before that. In the vat. Because technically that's the creature that Sherlee was going to power to help pierce the veil. And Bellefonte is just impatient at this point. He tried this multiple times. He's like, wait, that one is more powerful. So, forget about Sherlee and let's get that one. But now let's see what happens when he does try to get that. And he doesn't, technically, and this is not, a spoiler, he's not aware of these new powers awakening in Sherlee. Like in issue 2, we show Spawn's necroplasm. He hasn't seen any of that. So he's going off of what he could extract out of her in that loop. This is new stuff waking up in her. So there's still a lot coming.
So the explosion in issue 2 is what set off their realization of his power then?
So issue 2, on issue 1, that big explosion where the stranger comes in, because it does reveal there that he's from the past. So he came through Spawn's time ripped, and it fell right on Sherlee's experiment and brought them together. And Sherlee had already, to a certain degree, been exposed to Spawn's powers. It's part of a little bit of what kept her from becoming a minion, like one of the omens. We'll explore that. And now she was just bathed in a lot more in that explosion. So he gave her another level of power awakening, in a sense. And again, we'll go through all of this. I'm actually getting ahead of myself a little bit on this. But that's the logic behind it. We are trying to be very mindful of power scaling in a sense, because you guys know I'm a huge Spawn fan, but Spawn goes from fighting bombs to being master of the universe and destroying Earth and recreating it all over. So I'm trying to keep it relatively grounded.
Yeah, very close to the throne too.
Right.
I mean, that's about as big as it gets.
Right.
The art, Jonathan, continues to be like freaking beyond imagination, man.
Thanks. Thank you.
Yeah, right here. This page is so insane.
No, yeah. What a fun one.
Oh, so gorgeous, man.
Yeah. Did Daniel give you any direction on the creature for where the vat below the vat where he's held?
Oh
no. Jonathan gave me direction in a
Yeah.
sense, because
the
creature, I'm a lot more vocal at times than Jonathan, and I'm always talking about the story and all of this, but it really is from both of us, like the creature and in the vat, even like it wasn't like that in my like just inception. It was just talking to Jonathan and what we're doing and in what's going to even happen, maybe 10 issues from now, that we brainstormed over what Jonathan said just while he was drawing it, and the look and everything influences the story as much as it influences me trying to come up with stuff.
What's the process, Jonathan, of coming up with a creature that looks like that?
I mean, I'm trying to think of what I was thinking at the time. It's not really any like process as far as that, because I don't know how many. Sometimes when you're designing stuff, you don't know like how many times it's going to show up. It might just be like a one-off. So then you just design right on the page, which was that. I just designed that right on the page, and I try to inject sprinkle as much little bits of humor as possible. Yeah. If you catch it, you catch it. If you don't, it's funny to me. Like the little, I don't know if you see the little feet underneath one of the tentacles.
No, I just saw that. I just noticed that.
Yeah, it's like, they have to wrestle with this thing. And,
in I'm sorry to cut you off, John, because again, that is 100% Jonathan influencing me. Because if you go to the previous page, when it shows those little minions, they're talking about, because Bellyfun is like, who are these guys? Where's the old team? And the guy's like, oh, they were smashed. It's because it's those dudes under the tentacle. Because I saw what Jonathan did. I was like, oh, I got to mention this because this is just too good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was
that page that you just had. Is that the page before it? Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what is that panel? Like panels. What is that? What panel is that? 1, 2, 2, and 3,
4.
Like I wanted to draw like, I don't know, kind of again something kind of funny in a way they're funny, and I wanted to do like a version of like that Paul guy's obviously like fucking Frankenstein.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but I wanted to have that same kind of like tank on his head. Yeah. And if you look at the guard, there's kind of like similar things. There's a theme there. So
I like I did get a chuckle out of the big belly full when he said that.
Yeah,
that was kind of funny. That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
We were pretty confident. We were pretty confident that Todd was going to cut that, but he did not.
No, I would have fought for that. That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah. Not everything has to make sense.
No.
Nope. But that's why I do like to really bring it up, because a lot of times people ask if, oh, Daniel, did you thought of this or whatever? It's like, there's so much stuff that I do because of what Jonathan drew, that's what makes it fun. That's why the collaboration.
Yeah, you can tell
you both between like,
go ahead, Joe.
I think there's a difference between like the visual storytelling and then the storytelling that he might have in his head is different. Yeah. Like we're thinking from two different spaces. So like he might not visually be thinking of those little humor, little nods and stuff like that. Yeah. And then just like, sometimes I'm not really, we're not talking about dialogue. So Very rarely will I say like suggest anything dialogue wise, unless I feel like, oh well, a kid wouldn't talk like that, and that's more English is his second language, so he tends to be more formal.
Yeah.
So then we have like things like that. I don't. How did the Big Belly Fool? I remember just laughing a lot about
that one
character, and then,
that one was really me, because like I said there, and you guys were like, oh John, Daniel, did you give Jonathan any direction?
Yeah.
Those pages, it was just like, oh, I need Bellyfont to talk to one of his minions. It was literally that. I didn't say like one of he has these scientists, and then there's this big room, like imagine a necro lab or something. That's the extent of it.
Tank.
Right. And then Jonathan drew all of those different dudes and everything. And it's like, I gotta like give them personalities and everything, because they look so distinct, you know? So I was like, I'm going to have this main cerebral guy. And I was like, and this one just looks dumb. So I'm going to make him dumb. So there's a little bit. And then again, not to get ahead of myself, but then it starts giving me a lot of ideas for like, oh, you know what? And who knows, if they make it to Bellyfont's castle, there's this thing that I can make it with this or with that. Like, again, I'm saying the same thing over and over again, but what Jonathan draws influences so much of where the story is going, as well, as much as like whatever blueprint I might have.
Yeah.
Well, there was the, I can't say, but just to give you an idea, like sometimes things change. Like there's this what's written, and then there's like what things can turn into. And it's like I always say, like I don't know, like I don't know that I give like a lot of ideas. I'm kind of like the what if, but what if this? So the tank, there was a bit of a what if in the tank, because that wasn't the original.
Nope.
What was originally planned for the tank changed to a what if that actually grows things a bit, I think, differently. I don't know. It's pretty fun to kind of work that way.
Yeah.
Well, there's a question. This kind of goes to what you both were talking about, and we covered this, I think, after issue 1. How did you guys come up with how hell looks like? And I think we talked about this a couple of times ago, but I would love for you to dig back into that, because that is that collaboration, I think, coming to life.
Well, I mean, I said in the very beginning that when me and Daniel were talking about this, hell is more, to me, is it's more like a nightmare. So it never has to stay the same. It can change because everyone's nightmares aren't the same. Yep. And we didn't want to draw like, there'll be, right now it kind of looks like what it is. But it doesn't mean it's going to stay with that look. So then from there, it's just kind of like, I even struggle with it, because it's like, it's so open to what you can do. So it kind of pushes you creatively. So it's going to start getting weird. But I just like the idea of it feeling more nightmarish than like sort of like a place, Yep. So I don't know.
So Daniel, you were saying that a lot of times his art influences the direction of the story. I know typically like the script's written and then somebody draws it. So like, how often is it that Jonathan will draw something first before you find the direction that you're wanting to go?
Not so much that, even though like I always talk to Jonathan about like like this next arc, this is what I was thinking, let's brainstorm it a bit, and even from there we might get like some ideas right away. And then I because we're doing it the old way. We're not doing like most writers nowadays. They do the full script where they literally have panel by panel, big descriptions and full dialogue. I give Jonathan per se, we work almost like with beats, where I told him like, oh, kind of wanted this thing to happen in this page, kind of this beats, and they're going through this, and it doesn't have dialogue, just intention. and then Jonathan does it, and then I come back and readjust everything to actually have the dialogue. So, even if I had an intention in the beginning, it might end up not being 100%. It might be, and when I say 100%, I'm not saying it's better or worse or whatever. It's just different. It's Jonathan's lens of doing it all. And again, we talk every day. If it's something that I'm like, man, I really need this thing to happen, of course we'll talk. But to me, the big joy of it is to then have this mix. Because Jonathan is not an AI machine and I'm not a prompt master. We're working together. I think this is the best way.
Yeah, I think it's funny, that question. It's not a wrong question. It's an interesting question because it always puts one of us as work for hire.
Right.
And our situation is not that from the very beginning. This
Yes.
is, we created this together.
Right.
So he has ideas, I have ideas, and then we just try to mash it all up and make it work. There's always going to be like a give and take. Like a lot of times I'll tell, like, he might have an idea in his head visually, but then I have to, in a way, dampen expectations because there's a couple different things. I mean, it may be, shit, I can't draw that, or I can't draw that today. you know? But sometimes it's it might be the information that it gives, and what if I tweak it a little bit, but it still gives you the same, it still has the same, it can be still the same information, but just, like you said, told from a different lens. Because we think like very different visually, I think, as far as like, he's influenced a lot by manga and anime. I'm not at all. So like sometimes he'll tell me like, just speed lines. like what?
The hell is that?
But then I have to remember, it's like, okay, it makes sense because that's his influences, So then it's trying to like blend the two. I don't consume it, but I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
So. No, and let me just correct something that Jonathan says, because there's like sometimes he has to dampen my expectations in a sense, and I will say, and this is not to be here just complimentary, but everything that's ever come back from his table is far above everything that I've ever wanted. So like I have absolutely no complaints whatsoever.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff I hate, but it is what it is.
Well, you're the way that you guys like work together and are working as a team and bouncing ideas like, I mean, it really shows on the page. It doesn't look like, you got the story and then you're trying to figure out, okay, what was this panel trying to say or what was this doing? Like it actually, works together real well.
Yeah,
that's good. I mean, we struggle.
It does.
Good. It's good.
Whatever you guys are putting on the page, whatever struggle you had to get to this point, like we're not worried about that.
That's not.
It looks good.
That's never you guys' concern. You guys should just consume it and enjoy it.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's the struggle and the tears are for us.
But no, we want to know about the pain and the heartache that you guys went through to make this come out. We're bringing the tears out of it. I
always like hearing like hardships. As an artist, I always like hearing hardships, because then you realize it's not easy for everybody when you think it is. Sometimes people think that like art just falls out of the pencil or pen or whatever, and it doesn't.
It doesn't, huh?
No.
I wonder if that will affect how hell looks like, Jonathan, depending on how much you go through.
Right.
But I will say though, and again, even though this is not my place at all, but I'm not trying, like I said, in any way trying to control Jonathan's art. But one of the things that we also want is we don't want to kill each other with crazy hard stuff per se. So it is funny because like what Jonathan was saying, even though I consume a ton of comics, I also consume a lot of manga. So the battles are always very flashy and fast and everything. And in my mind, I'm like, I'm writing like this page is going to be so easy because Jonathan just has to do like some sword slashes and some speed lines. But then Jonathan comes at it with like a cinematic filter and he does all of these complex things, which I'm like, oh my God, this is amazing. But I was like, I just wanted to save you time in a sense. But I mean, that's what makes it like amazing. And I see Chris there saying DBZ, Dragon Ball Z. It is a big influence, and like it's what even made me want to be an artist together with Spawn. So it's funny to bring a lot of those influences in the sense of how I think. And Jonathan completely ignores it and goes about it a different way because again, his background is completely different. I think it's part of what makes it cool.
Completely ignore it.
Oh no, when I meant to ignore it, I didn't.
Like I take it in. It's just my brain, because of maybe not having that same influence you had with it.
Yeah,
has to figure out a way to fit it in to my style, or what I do. Yeah. Otherwise, it just feels like I'm just taking something from another person's page and just plopping it there. Like, so I try to find, like, you know, there was something, we were talking about something, and it was like total, like this, what we're talking about, influence, because sometimes when Daniel will write something, he'll, in his description is like moving fast. And I already know that's like, yeah, that's speed line. Like, and then this person's moving fast. So I was like, one day we were talking, I was like, dude, what the hell? Is this a flash book? Everybody's like, everybody is so fast. Like, I don't know if these dudes are all vampires or like, so I had to like, sometimes, I don't know if it's good or bad, but sometimes I think like I'm thinking practically, where he's thinking like fantasy in the right space, maybe. But I'm like, maybe I'm thinking like too cinematic or whatever. I don't know what it is. But I'm always like, I feel like I'm always the one that's like, all right, we gotta like make something not so fast so people can like take a moment, you know?
No, that was literally John.
Maybe I'll start doing more speed lines. I don't know.
No, it's not even that. I think he came, and again, that page came out amazing. But Jonathan literally was
Dr.
like,
Pepper.
right?
No, it's tea. I'm sick.
read.
It's tea. I don't drink sodas. I only drink alcohol and tea.
Alcohol
keeps you warm, right?
Right. And they both keep you warm.
No, but I was saying that page was pretty funny because Jonathan was like, dude, every new page or every 2 pages, you're just like, and now they're going faster. Like, how fast are they gonna go?
I'm like, whoa, we gotta be careful here. We're getting into the Speed Force and like, what's going on?
Yeah. But I'll say it again, it's part of, in my opinion, what makes it cool for both of us. And then I'll just come back and write around all of that. There's this, because Jonathan is, you know, the producer, the cinematographer. I don't know how we would translate it. So he's doing pacing as well, you know, like even a lot of, like I said, I give beats, but it's even up to Jonathan if he wants to mishmash page or whatever and just make it all make sense at the end. So it's fun. You know, I think a lot of new artists and writers would be horrified by this, but maybe because of also our inking background and everything, I think it's the purest form of collaboration.
Yeah, absolutely. No, couldn't agree more.
And I don't know one way or the other if it's easier or hard because I've never worked any other way. So
yeah.
Love to see a full online art edition of these books at some point. That would be fantastic. Fantastic. I agree.
I agree.
American Discord, yeah. I don't trust anybody who doesn't like Dragon Ball Z.
Like as far as like the story goes, I do like the fact that, like, you know, Shirley just keeps trying to like assert herself or like find her voice in this universe, because like it seems like everybody's talking around her or at her and not to her.
Yep. That's a big part.
Yeah. So she's trying to, you know, stand up for herself and, you know, be present and make herself known, and it's like they're all just, you know, ignoring her. But it, you know, it says, and you're gonna have to remind me because like I said, I read all this stuff and sometimes they blend together, but Simon is, you know, he's getting patched up, and he says, you know, he's waiting for Vox and the children to return. Is this the first we've heard of Vox?
Yes.
Okay, because it's just mentioned like it's a throwaway line. I mean, not really a throwaway line, but that's the first mention I think that we have of him.
Yep. Well, because Simon doesn't talk much in the previous issue. He also just kind of shows up because, and again, it's kind of vague. We'll also in issue 5 that's clarified more. But again, Simon, is hearing the voice of God in his head. Him and we're going a little bit into spoiler territory here. Like
Okay,
him and
everybody out there,
Vox,
plug your ears.
they're in hell saving souls that are unjustly trapped in hell, Shirley being one of them. And Simon even implies that he's met Shirley before, and Shirley doesn't remember. And again, that will all come to fruition. So he didn't talk much, but he was already there. He didn't just randomly popped up. There was already a search before, including him and Vox and everything, that were now everything is coming to head. Same thing again. And we still, because this first arc is literally that. They're trying to get Shirley into safety. In hell is just incredibly predatory, and these beings are not supposed to be there, and they're like beacons and being chased by everybody, which is why nobody really minds Shirley in a sense of, hey, how are you, kid? Because they're just worried about, we need to get her to safety before X, Y, and Z show up and destroy everything. So, and she's getting pretty frustrated with that, and it will come to head into they'll have to deal with it.
Yeah.
Well, coming up, I'm just trying to get to like my favorite part of the book, and I mentioned to you guys when I saw you in New York City, but it's we're just having the conversation with the stranger, and it's talking about everything, and she says, but you didn't cut me down. She says, I don't even have a heartbeat now. Remember, I'm like Teddy T, except he's got no legs.
Yeah.
And the reason that I like that call out is because wasn't it Todd that drew her drew Teddy T with legs? So it's like you cemented it in the story. Like it's there. Teddy T has no legs.
Yep.
So
that was also very deliberate.
I like that line. That was
so. Anybody who draws any fan art or does a cover, and if the teddy bear has legs, then we know you didn't read the book.
See, no legs.
No legs. I also love how we get the background of Stranger too.
Oh yeah,
and we start to reveal a little bit more of who this person is, and then the relic and the meaning of the relic, at least to Stranger, I thought was really almost like an emotional part of the book as well, and how Shirley responded to that. Because even she's being revealed because she doesn't know either.
None of them knew. Like, if you think about it, both of them are like fish out of water. Because for the stranger, he was just fighting his brother who just killed everybody they've ever known. And the stranger as well. It's not very clear there, but as you guys saw in issue 2, when the stranger goes full power, he just blacks out. Like, that's part of their power. And that's why I had to call them ancient Nephilims in a way, because Todd ruined things a little bit, because he brought some Nephilims into Spawn, which he hasn't really. I forgot what her name is, but there's this one lady who walked around with Spawn for a bit. She looked a bit like an ancient. No, it's not Judy.
Judy.
Judy. And I was actually like, oh my God, Jonathan read it? No, she shows up. It's one of these Brett Boots issues, like, I don't know, maybe 10 issues ago, when Spawn didn't have his powers. She shows up.
Are you talking about Lyra?
Lyra, yes, because they say that she's the
Judy's
daughter
sister.
of a angel, right?
I thought Lyra, for sure that was going to be Spawn and Angela's love child. I thought that's who that was going to be. But
well, I mean, technically it couldn't be. They say that she's the daughter of an angel and a demon. That's a Nephilim.
That's
so
why I said okay. Yeah.
But that's why I also made it a point, and Bellefonte says it as well, that these are ancient Nephilims, the true power, pure beings that are created from this, not like the scraps walking around on Earth from these wickling demons and angels. So that it had to have a little bit of a distinction there, because again, the stranger, he can't really. We wanted from the very beginning. We talked about this. We wanted him because Spawn was super powerful, but he couldn't use his power or he would end up back in hell. But he had the chance to use it. The only thing per se that happened is, he could end up back in hell and have to be a general and all of that. The stranger, whenever he tries to protect somebody and goes above the power that he can control, he just turns into a bomb and kills everybody, friend or foe. So even though he's immensely powerful, technically he can't use that power to save people. So we wanted to have a little bit of that like difference in character. And that's why, in a lot of stories and Viet comics, manga and everything, that revelation of the stranger being fully powerful and awakening like that. That's stuff for, issue 10, issue 15. And I was like, no, I want to have it in issue 2. So we're very established that he's incredibly powerful, but he's more of a threat than a protector. Because everybody was like, oh, it's going to be a lone wolf and cub story. He's going to be protecting Sherlee. Sherlee can handle himself, and she has to save him to a certain degree because he might kill her trying to save her.
So which I thought that was interesting that she was able to stop him.
Yeah.
But so the moment then that the stranger was grabbed was that he was pulled through the rip was right after he and his brother had.
It was
wiped out
right.
everyone?
It was right
during
that. So like at this point, we don't know the whereabouts of his brother. Did he kill his brother?
Yeah.
Did he just know that he had the medallion and that's it? That's stuff to come.
Okay.
And does the relic have anything to do with the stranger's power?
By the relic, you mean like that little robot? Or the medallion? Okay.
Medallion, sorry.
No. That's just kind of like their sigil.
Got you. Yeah, I didn't know if it had anything to do with how much power he had, because we find out that the power that he has is extremely attractive to a lot of others.
Right. No, that medallion. Remember, you drew the like the symbol that you created, and he has the one from his brother. Yeah.
It's kind of like House Stark, Game of Thrones.
Right.
Like different sigils.
That's awesome.
Maybe we'll see more.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't seem like he's going to let that go. That's all he has left, right?
Right. Yep. No, he's not gonna. Yep. So again, they have Shirley's wanting to go home. He's wanting to find the only family he ever had per se. Even if, because he doesn't know what happened to his brother. They were supposed to both be good. They were being protected in that village for most of their lives. And one day his brother just went berserk in a way like him and killed everybody.
Crazy.
So the fact that Shirley was able to stop him from essentially killing her, that's due to what's happening inside of her, right? I mean,
she right after that, you see that she has Spawn's necroplasm. So we established to a certain degree that she has clown influences from the mask. In issue 2, we show her being a lot more powerful. And if you notice, she starts kind of growing spikes and being more Violator-like. So, technically we can see that she wasn't just used and converted. She kept something to herself. And now she also has some of Spawn's powers. And even though, let me also be clear, she was able to stop the blade with like some of the power that awakened, but Simon Pure's half-cut body also helped slow the blade a little bit because he literally chopped, Simon Pure nearly in half.
Incredible. Well, how are we going to see the Siamese twins quite a bit moving forward too? And can we get a cover of that, Jonathan?
Yeah, I should. I need to do a cover of those guys. I like those characters.
They're dope, man. They're so Brad. What's the other brother's name? Brad and
Chad.
Chad. Yeah, Brad and Chad. They have to be becoming fan favorites, man.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, well, they will be.
Yeah.
we have something planned.
Nice.
That's really, I can't wait to do. And we just thought it would be just like a holy crap moment.
Yep.
So yeah.
And again, another thing that those brothers they came directly from Jonathan, because they were initially going to be, I don't want to necessarily say throwaway characters, but yes, they were only going to be present for a couple of issues, part of like these kids that Simon is saving and all of that.
2 kids.
Yes, because there were 2 kids.
I didn't want to draw both.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't want to draw 2.
And then he drew them as Simon's twins, which I was like, oh my God, this is so cool. Let's have this backstory. And then, there's something coming in the future that also Jonathan's like, what if we do this? And I was like, oh yes. So again, there's a lot of that in our stuff. If people think it's just Jonathan by himself drawing or just me by myself writing, it absolutely is not.
No.
Yeah, we definitely need a cover for when that event takes place for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
And they will be showing up a lot more. I will even say again, issue 4, they don't show up a lot. Issue 4, it's a very intensive, Octane issue because the Crimson Seraph just showed up. But then it's the same thing that just happened with issue 3. Then there's going to be the calm after the storm again, but they are definitely going to be around.
Yeah, you mentioned issue 4, and with the holiday schedule, we're gonna have to wait until January, guys, before we get this issue.
Yeah,
Like January 21st.
Yeah,
It's not
change
Jonathan's
comes to
fault.
those
It's
who
not
wait.
Daniel's fault. The holiday printing schedule
Yeah.
and everything. We have to wait a little while longer.
yeah. Well, but I mean, hopefully it will
Wait,
be.
is it
It
your
will be
fault?
worth. No, this one was not.
Yeah,
I messed
okay.
up Jonathan's. I messed up Jonathan's timing. The book, like I
all right.
said, it's just with the printing schedule and everything. that's
Daniel
how it
called
landed.
Image and said, "Yeah, they need to be done by 6 p.m. Eastern."
Right.
He didn't say if it was January or December.
It could be.
I gave you a
And
little,
just to say hi to Tara, I fully agree. Every time I hear their names, I think it's so funny.
So here's a little backstory for the names. That's actually my wife's brother's names.
No way.
She has twin brothers, Brad and Chad.
Brad, I just think it's so funny, Brad and Chad.
Yeah.
Same thing. I think we mentioned same thing with Teddy T. That also comes from Tara.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I think-
that's what she used to call her dad. Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Todd used to put all kinds of stuff from his life in the book, and
Oh, yeah.
in this case, I haven't really. I'm exploiting Jonathan's life in a sense together for the book.
Thank you for
Tara
the
says they're not
They're
conjoined,
conjoined.
I was actually going to ask that. I'm like, maybe that'd be a little too far. That's family.
And I think it's funny. What's funny about the twin, just to piggyback on this, what's funny about it is like her actual brothers' personalities, like they're complete opposites. So I thought it was funny how FCO, under no direction, gave them 2 different hair colors.
Oh, really?
It just speaks to they're conjoined, but they're totally different in their attitudes and personalities. So
I love how you pats him on the head. It's okay, Brad.
Yeah, right.
I was pretty proud of that panel when I wrote tap tap. I was like,
Funny, man.
of all the things, the little tap tap was my favorite.
Oh, that's hilarious. That's why I just want to see more of them, because I think, like you said, there's got to be something from a storyline just to understand, one, how they're in hell, and then 2, like the funk. I feel like they could have a much broader function than they've had up to this point, and it'd be really unique to see how they could be utilized.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, we're only in issue 3. They've got plenty more story to tell. I'm sure we're going to see all kinds of stuff
for
from
sure.
It's cool though. I like that you guys have latched on to sort of, I guess, background characters in a way. Like, well, not so much anymore, but their intention wasn't that big, and they're not. Well, they're sort of ordinary looking.
Yeah.
But
You see the heads; they look very normal.
Yeah.
I try to make them fun to look at. I don't know.
I'm waiting for Thomas to put him in another book. That'd be amazing.
Right.
They have their own spinoff.
or maybe he'll be in issue
Maybe they could be
2
the
of I
new
Saw Santa.
detectives.
There you go. Chad and Brad detectives.
Right.
So how much of a collaboration was it on the design of Vox, and are there more that look like him?
I think that was, I mean, you had the idea of what Vox was.
Yeah.
I think the one thing we went back and forth as far as the
The
we
look
didn't
of
want
it.
the boot, like we didn't want the big boot.
Yeah.
We wanted it to look like, you recognize them as, Spawn.
It looks like a negative Spawn.
Right. But yeah.
Well, I mean,
And,
reverse color.
yeah,
I don't mean
yeah.
negative. Like,
Yeah.
I don't mean bad.
No. According to
I'm trying to think
the
of how-
internet, if you remember, John, according to the internet, that's all it took to design this character is it's just an inverse Spawn.
Yeah.
That's not what I get from it. But
No.
if you look at that's
The goal
I'm trying
of
to
it,
think of what the conversation was that we had that where I got to the point where I said maybe he would be radiating light.
right? Because the idea was for him. I was like, hey man, let's do I have this idea for a character which is a different Spawn, and he's going to be like white, kind of thing. That's the goal, to be very different with a black cape. That was pretty much my, you went to that, and I explained to John. And again, spoilers ahead, because that character, Vox is. Do you guys want spoilers or not really?
Sure, yeah,
I'm okay with
hey,
that.
we've got till January. We'll forget about it by then.
Because
right,
Vox is in a way a purified heaven, spawn, a spawn that actually he was created in hell by Mabolja, the whole deal, but he went to heaven and was redeemed, but chose to remain a hell spawn. So technically,
this is what Al would look like if he actually.
He wouldn't just get bright little wings and be, which I love the Wings of Redemption spawn, but this is a fully accepted by God and who accepts God, and decided to stay in hell, and he's now with Simon trying to save the ones who were unjustly imprisoned in hell. And one of the things is because we have cowboys, because a lot of people, again, the whole thing of he looks just like Al Simmons, because you have cowboy spawn, Mandarin spawn, whatever. We could have made a team spawn. Jonathan could have had 3 million ideas. He has 3 million idea every day when he wakes up. The idea was to not reveal much about him other than he's different. So what's the most neutral spawn we know? It's Al Simmons. He doesn't have age appropriate hat or bandolier, so that was a little bit of the thinking behind him having this look, other than just the white and everything. Jonathan made him a lot more luminescence, which is also going to play a role. Again, I wrote something because of that. So
I was thinking, so if you think, do you know of any toy
we do
or statue that Todd has made that is also a nightlight?
No.
No, you do.
Yeah, no, you're right. There you go. They can light up. And now they've had some, where their hand, the Redeemer, like his sword would light up, but no, not the whole thing. That's pretty wicked.
Yeah, see, there you go.
They have a lot. They were like GameStop, if I'm not mistaken. Figures by McFarlane of Spawn, and even some Green Lantern ones that are glow in the dark. To do something like that with Vox would be dope. The white just kind of glows. That would be insane, man. But if I want my Shirley Johnson first. We need a Shirley Johnson figure though, for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely 100%. With the Teddy
T. If you can do a Rat City spawn that quickly, we should be like issue 5 having this.
I agree. What can we say? What can we say, Todd? What can we say? I don't know. He don't like me.
We definitely need a Vox cover though. I think that would be amazing.
But yeah, when I said that he looked, I did not think that at all when I looked at it. I think it's a really cool concept. I like it.
Yeah. Agree.
And like I said, his look has a goal. It wasn't just because let's do a different spawn.
Yeah.
There's like a big plan behind him. Because we're talking about all of it. The book is The Curse of Sherlee Johnson, and we're talking about everybody, but less Shirley to a certain degree. And that is by design of the first arc, because they don't know what's going on. So there's a big cast already being created just by the nature of trying to get her to safety. And like I said, then once they reach the carrier cities, which is what they're trying to do, things are going to calm down and teams will go their separate ways. There's a lot to explore. Like from the next arc on, they're going to be divided in a lot of different ways and trials. And we have, like, we're already, even again, the next arc, we're so excited about it. It's so different from this one already. So I think it's going to be really fun.
Yeah. Oh no, I like the fact that you're not. I mean, I think it would get kind of boring if we were just with Shirley for the next 50 issues.
Right.
Like we're in her world, and we're expanding upon it, and she's meeting people, and we might be over here with these guys, but eventually they're going to cross paths. So
right.
I really like the story building. It's not just a linear story.
I think as far as like following characters, it is. I keep referring to Game of Thrones because I love the way Game of Thrones allowed you to get to know each character in each different region and things like that. And we talked about that in the beginning of like when we were wanting to do this of kind of like Game of Thrones meets Mad Max meets whatever, but having all these cast members, where you can go one way, you can go another way, and everybody is pretty much interesting I think, so far. So
in one of the things, because you guys were talking, how does hell look like and everything, because one of the things we also really played with is, because technically hell is infinite like heaven to a certain degree, even though the Spawn universe makes hell look massive and it has the 8 levels or 7 levels or whatever, like they explore all of that. But in my mind, in our mind, when we talk about it, that's just kind of the main kind of part of hell that everybody's inhabiting. But there's like the suburbs, the wilderness, the everything that's infinite to a point. Imagine there's a place in hell they don't even know there's a queen of hell because it's so far removed from all of this. Again, we're not delving into Earth anytime soon, but there's a lot of like everything else is free game, and that's definitely part of something that we want to explore. Same with hell, heaven, hell, because even Bellefon's plan, which we reveal in issue 3, which is a very different plan in my opinion, because everybody wants to take over hell or take over heaven or take over Earth. He doesn't want any of that. He wants to crash heaven into hell and merge both realms, which that would have crazy consequences for the universe. So we're trying to play with some fun stuff.
I just love the idea that hell isn't something that is set in stone, that hell could mean something a little bit different for each of these characters that you're bringing to life, depending on their background and experience, maybe what they're going through at the moment, the stress that could be on them. Like all these things can affect what hell looks like. And that just opens this up for all kinds of crazy ideas. It kind of reminds me of Spawn's cape, that it's a living, right? It's living. It has a life of its own, and you could control it. And I feel like this one, although it has a life of its own, it more controls you based on your emotions or what you're going through or the stress or the fear that you have. It could change like in a matter of moments, maybe even what hell is currently presenting to you, because that's maybe the purpose of hell, is to cause you to have that kind of suffering. I mean, there's just all kinds of different directions you could go. And I think that's so fun.
Well, and there's also, like I said, because we played a lot with the concept of consequences, and without giving anything away, but in the page that Vox debuts, there's a lot of characters there. There's Vox, there's those little soldiers, there's that little girl with the orange, which is Tabitha, another character that came to life just because of Jonathan. That was a throwaway character, 100%, and now it's not anymore.
Or something like that.
You did, because they were all supposed. You see, it has like almost these zombie look kids in the foreground. Those are, and again, I won't spoil that, but those are 100% a consequence still of Spawn's actions in hell. It's going to have very direct ramifications to why those kids look like that, and then more, and even more. And Tabitha was going to be just one of those infected kids. And Jonathan just drew this badass, and he sent me a character sheet. I'm like, you wanted like some zombie kids, but like I did this. I'll just, I'll draw something else. No, please put her there. We'll make a backstory. She's, Vox's henchman. Let her be. Just do the other zombie kids. Do not, throw that away per se.
I would love to see this character just show up randomly and just, he thinks he's a lot badass more than he really is, and he just constantly gets
ancient and outdated.
We got like real shit going on here, and constantly he's just being thrown off. That'd be hilarious. This is the big boys table, man. Move.
Right.
Can't win.
So good, man. So freaking good. I'm absolutely loving this, guys.
Did you get? I know last time you were saying that you were wanting more answers. Do you feel like you got more answers in this?
Oh, as far as the story goes,
yeah. This issue has the most answers so far, I think, out of all the issues. So you've set the tone. You've kind of set the surrounding. We have all these characters that have been revealed, and now we're starting to understand some background, how they're currently in this current situation, and obviously a lot of reveals of some pretty heavy stuff that's about to come up, and them working kind of together to be able to overcome that. I feel like this is a great issue, and I assume issue 4 is going to reveal even just from the cover from issue 4, just looking at the covers, you're like, the eye.
Oh, the eye. Yeah.
Again, we're like I said, we're playing with a lot because we want to have fun, like I said. So there's always a lot of action mixed with a lot of story. And I'm not a big fan of when there's action to try and have big, like explaining dialogues in between. So that's why even issue 2, there's reveals, but there's not big monologues of what's happening. There's just stuff happening to trauma almost, let's say. Issue 4 also has a lot of that, and it has a lot of answers setting up what's happening in the next or answers in also a little bit of what's about to happen, because the next arc is 100% where all of the answers will be coming very methodically, being introduced issue by issue. Right now, even though, like I said, issue 4 does have a lot of answers, we're still in the thick of trying to survive reaching the Carrier of Cities.
Yeah, incredible. I thought. Go ahead.
I say, yeah, and then on the final page we see that Bootsy's coming in for a landing.
Yep.
To either grab Sherlee or talk to Sherlee. But so is he showing up because Vox has finally gotten there, or?
So Boots is going there because, again, in issue 2, in issue 1, like there's that other character that sees everything that was happening and tells Boots. Boots kind of zooms in and is all
so he's still on there from that.
He's going like there. Okay. Yes. So, and then he bumps because, he was like, oh, I need to get to this girl because I can see that she has remnants of Al Simmons' powers, like that necroplasm. He felt it right away, because I will play a little bit into this because, like I said, Boots, the last time he showed up and he was incarcerated by the angels, taken to be judged. He gave like a premonition almost to Al, and it was like, there will be a child, So he has this, almost oracle-like premonition of something that's to come, and it never really came to fruition in any way. And so we're grabbing that, and Boots has his own powers per se, and he's been demoted and he's in hell. He doesn't have access to a lot of stuff, but he's still been trying to help in how he can, because I keep giving you guys spoilers, but because they're in hell. Boots is in hell. That ship is in hell. It's like this faction of angels that's just posted in hell, stealing souls from hell, because that's what they're doing. All of them is trying to amass souls into their army, so they're infiltrated in hell, amassing souls, and Boots is trying to reach them as fast as he can before the actual angels who are in power, like, wait, we need to go there, because again, these two beings, Sherlee and the stranger, they're anomalies. Everybody's going to be after them, either to use them or to kill them. So, and Boots wants to get there first, and he recruits in a way the Crimson Seraph, which is a being he can absolutely not control, but he sees that he's forced to take him because of the power of the stranger, and then we'll see what he can or cannot control in issue 4 of what Crimson wants to do.
Yeah.
So
well, as as a fan of this series so far, I'm hoping that, and I'm not asking for spoilers, I'm not asking you to tell me, but I'm hoping that, like, by issue 50 or 100 or 150, Sherlee gets her time with Billy. There has to be a way for her to get redemption.
I wouldn't say necessarily redemption, maybe vengeance.
Revenge.
Yeah. No, but again, that's all coming. Everybody per se, is like, oh, there will be a conflict with Billy. There will be a conflict with Spawn. And to a certain degree, maybe there will be a conflict with Clown Violator, because she is intertwined with all of those characters. Now, the thing is, she's deep in hell, and how will she reach them? We already saw in issue 2, she's even cursing God for leaving her there. So she's not really in the mood to be very friendly to these beings that she sees as are the cause of all of her pain. So it is coming. It is just a matter of, within this big universe and where they are right now in hell, when will they actually clash?
Yeah, but I'm not even sure where Billy is right now, because last I remember, like, Spawn killed him. Once he got the suit, Spawn killed him, or Al killed him. So,
well, Billy already had a lot of different iterations, and he even showed up in many ways, because technically the Billy that we see in Gunslinger is Billy from the future, which leads me to think this still needed to be clarified with Thomas. The Billy that shows up in King Spawn, it seems to me like it's the Billy from the future, which he calls himself Kincaid. because he did the deal with Clown and he came back when he got all of the little omens. So technically, there could be two Billies out there. The current Billy still incarcerated in hell, and the Billy who was free. Well, technically, he got killed by Spawn, so I guess he's not around. But that's something that I still need to clarify with Thomas. But there is still the current Billy somewhere in hell.
I got chills, man. Let's go, man. Let's go.
Again, that's why I say I think so hard about all of this, because
I know you do.
Todd and Thomas and all of the TMP, they don't really control. And when I say control, I'm not saying in a bad way. They're not on their writers or artists like, well, you got to do this. They give freedom for people to create, and that implies that sometimes continuity errors can happen. It's just, and then they try to deal with it and make it all united. I'm trying to be really mindful of that, because like I said, our story, it might not really show, but it has a big scope. Like I said, just even in the past, if you think about it, the Stranger is coming from almost 75,000 years in the past, because it's in the beginning of Malbolgia's realm. And Shirley, who knows what's actually happening with her at this point. She's even, because in the Spawn timeline from issue 1 until issue 370, it's been a little bit over 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. But at the same time, Shirley's been in prison for 100 years in this loop of Bellefonte. So we're playing with time and the concept of time. There's going to be a lot of characters showing up because of that, because I'm trying to make sense of a lot of this time rip and everything, of actually making sense and the consequences of that and the obligations to a certain degree of how that is supposed to work. So it's a lot of headaches that I hope all make sense by the end of it.
Incredible.
Well, I'm definitely gonna have to pay closer attention to the art then, for the little jokes that Jonathan likes to sprinkle in, because I completely missed the legs under the tentacle.
I love it. I love it.
Feet sticking out. Yeah, bad day.
I would love to kind of just quickly show, because this is all made available for all of you to take a look at. And we talked about the January 21st. It'll be in comic shops. You have time still to take this Lunar Code to your comic book shop, and you can make sure that this is placed in your pull box if you haven't done so already. Some amazing covers. I believe this one is you, Jonathan.
Yeah, that's me.
That's dope. So if you end issue 3, I kind of have an idea of maybe who this eyeball is.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them. There's a lot of eyeballs. So
there's a lot of them.
I'll even say, and I'm sorry to cut you off, John. Should I send them, Jonathan, the double spread from the page 2 and 3, so they can preview it to the chat? Because I think that's a really awesome page. It would be cool to give a little sneak peek. I do.
Yeah, I would. You could send. I mean,
that'd be dope.
We do whatever we want to do, I guess.
That's true. I'm gonna send you guys.
So awesome, man.
I'm gonna send you on Instagram. Is that okay? And you can just show that image,
please,
to give you an idea of how issue 4 is starting.
And then we also have a Raymond Gate cover too coming in issue 4, if I'm not mistaken. It mentions it on the site.
Yeah,
or is it 5?
Yeah. No, wait, that's 5, right?
No, that's 5. That's 5. Yeah, cover 4. No, I forgot who's the. No, 4 is Panosian. 5 is Raymond.
Yeah.
Is it not? I think. Can you check? I think number 4 is Panosian, a close up of the Stranger.
Yeah, that's Raymond's down there next to my black and white of the same cover. Yeah.
This one right here. Oh,
yeah, that's Raymond's. Yeah.
Look at that. Brad and Chat.
There they are.
Brad and Chat. Yeah.
Damn, Ray. I love this, man. And with Vox in the background.
I know, it's a cool.
You got everything we were just asking for is on the Image website. I just didn't go far.
So you asked, he delivered right there on the spot.
Yeah.
That was super quick, guys. That was super quick, man. Look at that.
And I just sent you the beginning of issue 4 to give you an idea where issue 4 is going.
All right, let me let me get out of this and pull it up real quick. This is exciting, man.
Oh, well, while he's bringing that up, the covers that I had you guys sign for me in New York, they went out to my winners. I had one go to Cincinnati here in Ohio, one went to Jersey, and I think the other went to New York.
Oh, nice.
And I had one that was unclaimed, so I still have it over there for another giveaway. But yeah,
nice.
They were well received.
Mark, I'm right here, man. I'm right here, Mark.
You're right. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Let me just get that in the mail for you. Right over there.
All right, I'm gonna pull it up right now. Bear with me. This looks dope.
Oh yeah, and I got my shirt from New York on, or the
Oh,
shirts
nice.
that you guys had.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I see. I'm not a fan of the blind bag idea, but Jonathan and Tara had a blind bag thing going with their shirts, and I liked all the shirts. But I think you got the shirt, one of the Curse of Sherlee Johnson pins.
Yeah.
And I think maybe that was it for like I can't remember how much it was, but I liked all the shirts, so I said why not? So I did a blind bag.
Yeah.
Nice. Got this pin in the shirt, so yeah, it was pretty cool. I think like the one and only time I've done a blind bag, and it was for
Yeah.
I gotta share it directly from Instagram. I pulled up the picture, but it won't let me do it like that. So let me do this.
We do like to give answers, but like I said, it is hell. So unfortunately, conflict is always necessary, and there's always some beating happening anywhere.
Wait, is that like the Raymond Gay in the chat?
Yes, it is.
Oh, okay. I had brought the
and his wife Irene. Yeah.
When I came to New York, and I brought his cover for issue 1, but the line was too long to get it signed. So maybe next time.
Like I absolutely love that double spread, and I think it's a good introduction to the issue.
Oh, that is wicked.
That is insane, guys.
Shirley's underneath.
We got
Crimson.
Yeah, you see her little arm under Crimson.
Little arm hanging out. Yeah.
You got Crimson, and who's on top of Crimson?
That's Tabitha, the one character that shouldn't exist, and because of Jonathan.
Oh yeah,
now she's a staple of the book.
Okay, that is wicked.
It could be your art, Jonathan. Any character you develop, I think, is going to be a mainstay.
Yeah.
And then Vox.
I hope so. Thanks.
This is fire, guys. Thank you for sharing this. This is amazing.
Shirley just
I tried to do something that looked like speed lines, but I couldn't get speed lines, so I just made the stranger look like he's.
Oh yeah, like he's running fast.
We got speed lines, Daniel. You should be happy with this page. This is speed lines right here, man.
Like I said, I've been happy with every page.
And Vox's cape is kind of like straight behind him, so yeah, he's coming in fast.
Right. So that's a good one.
Damn those chains! I hate chains now.
Right. You hate chains now. You're in the wrong title if you hate chains, man.
Yeah,
they're a pain in the ass.
you should talk to the concept artist to tell him to do less chains.
I know.
Shirley also has chains.
So now,
So
now added to the list, he doesn't like to draw cars, buildings, or chains.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guarantee you, Gray complained about chains every now and then.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sure. 100%. Well, thank you guys. That is freaking phenomenal, man. What a treat.
Yeah, FCO kicked ass on that spread.
I just love all the eyes too, man. What a freaky character.
Yeah. And I like that Jonathan always positions it to the point that, look, even the knee is looking towards the characters. Yeah. So they're always looking like, I just love it.
Look on Shirley down here. Yeah, stranger. That's dope, man. These ones are looking up here. That's
so as part of my humor,
is grabbing his sword like it's nothing.
Yeah.
So as part of my humor, don't be surprised if Shirley kicks the Crimson Seraph in the eyes.
Right.
Kicks him in. I got it. In the eyes.
Kick me in the eyes. Kick me in the eyes.
Yeah.
No, but I did. I was gonna give him. I don't think I ever told Daniel. I was gonna give him 2 little eyeballs by where his balls would be. No, I was like, nah, that's a little too much, maybe.
This is a Spawn title, Jonathan. You would definitely get away with that, man.
Those will be his only eyes that hang down.
Unless it's cold.
And he swings them like a sack of.
They don't move, just the balls move.
Yeah.
As long as it has speed lines.
Daniel doesn't care as long as there's speed lines.
Yep.
It'll be the first comic ever to have nut speed lines.
Yeah.
That is awesome. Sorry, Irene and Tara.
No.
It was your husband's fault. That is dope, guys. This is freaking phenomenal, man.
But I don't know if you noticed. So I'll say this. I'll out myself on that double face for it. Like the Christmas Sheriff is like way bigger than he's supposed to be. Because if you look at him in like the previous issue,
yeah,
where it was next to
Boots.
Oh,
and then you look at him there, I'm like,
well, this is a situation that Todd went through with the cape. So maybe in certain situations he grows.
It is. It's the rage.
That's what I was to say. When he's in fight mode, he grows.
Yeah,
he swells
there
up.
He is.
So.
There he is.
Where it all began into that spread right there.
Yeah,
that was dope, man. Yeah, his rage makes him get bigger, man. I love that idea.
There's one page then in the front, because again, I think we mentioned that in the beginning too, because when I gave Jonathan the concept per se, like the idea of like, oh, like it'd be cool to have this, Crimson character that's really big with these giant wings, and Jonathan was like, I'm not going to draw 6 giant wings full of feathers. Are you like, how hard that is? And we had this whole conversation, and we came with lore. So like, he's so powerful that he ripped his own wings off. And in the Spawn universe, that means they go mad when you rip, but he's not. He ripped his own wings off because he doesn't need them. He just has these power blast wings. So there's one of the page where they're fighting, because he did land with the wings. So he's fighting, and when he turns back, there's just the holes and smoke coming out, like he's just cooling down. Like that's the kind of stuff that gets me like,
yeah.
I love it, man. That is dope.
Yeah. And then if he gets in this one power move, he rolls himself up into just one big eyeball and just rolls.
And it becomes really tiny.
No way he gets like, and then 2 little feet come down and he just walks.
Or his eyeballs make him run.
Mike, give me an idea.
Oh, that's so awesome.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
This is about to switch from a battle action comic into Shaun of the Dead kind of territory.
Everybody needs a laugh.
No, and we do. Like, again, we hope that it comes across how much fun we are having creating, because that's what we hope people are getting while reading it. Because this is our conversations when creating stuff. Then Jonathan goes and is upset that things are hard to draw, which they are. Yeah. And then I tell him the wrong hours, and he gets even madder. But we are having a lot of fun doing it.
I love
if everything went smooth and fine all the time, it wouldn't make for a good story. It'd be pretty boring.
No,
it's perfectly fine.
And like I said, to entice a little bit from what's coming and everything, because again, right now it's just been this chase for them to get to the carrier of cities, and everybody has their own little plan. Simon thinks God is telling him to do this. Boots and Crimson are trying to find him in some other way, even to a certain degree. And we'll see Boots and Simon don't necessarily agree with the safety that the carrier of cities provides, and that's a big part of issue 4 and what's coming. In the next arc, we're going into other territories other than Hell. So, like, if you think, like, again, just the craziness of like what Jonathan is creating for Hell, there's going to be a lot more in the next art. Like, even though Glapion is still trying to achieve his goals, there's already new powerful beings coming as well, getting and kind of messing things up. It's, again, the idea is Hell gives no rest to anybody. It's what we always wanted, because even Spawn always has those calmer issues where there's no big threat or what. Hell doesn't let you, it doesn't stop. It's relentless in coming for you.
Amazing.
That's why everybody wants to go there.
Yeah, right.
It's warm.
Right.
Or it's cold.
Oh yeah.
Oh, true. Oh yeah, true. Yeah. But no, I like where you guys are going with like fleshing out, all these characters and bringing in the new characters. But I'm in it for the long haul. I'm curious to see like where she's going to go, where Shirley's going to go, like her progression, what's going to happen with these powers that are inside of her. I mean, there's so much story here, and I'm really loving it so far.
Yeah.
Nice. Good to hear.
No, it's been it's been phenomenal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, I know, Daniel, it's past midnight where you're at. Jonathan, thank you for fighting through to be with us today, man. Sorry that you
Yes,
and your
thank
family got a little ill over Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
But
appreciate it.
I cannot tell you how much I appreciate it when you all come on and we could cover the book together. It's such a fun read, and the character development and all the new characters are so dope. And you're building canon, which is amazing. Like in 5 years, it'll be really interesting to see what happens with Sherlee and Vox and all these other Stranger, all these different characters, because now they're part of the Spawn universe lore. And, you know, there's going to be another Daniel Jonathan duo that's going to characters can we bring into our title, and you know some of these characters can be picked up, man. So I mean that's so exciting, man. I don't know, I really appreciate you. I mean, one, I don't have a channel if it's not for folks like you that entrust me and to come on and talk about your title, but I absolutely am so appreciative, and I'm loving it, man. This is so much fun.
Thanks, we appreciate it for sure.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys having. Yeah, it's fun for us too. Like I said, we get to vent and also be excited about what we're doing in a sense. So it's pretty fun.
Yeah,
absolutely. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to let these gentlemen go. We took more than an hour, which we, you know, I always say an hour.
Usually
we
do.
like an hour and a half, 2 hours, but it's so fun, man.
It's good content.
Right. But I'm sure Daniel needs to actually go to bed at some point and then actually wake up instead of just being awake all night. Gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with me. Really appreciate it. And everyone in the chat, thank you for being so vocal. Really appreciate it. Yes, Ray. And I got to get Ray on too. I'm trying to get a date for Ray too, to bring him and Irene on. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
And yeah, it'll be great, man. But thank you, everyone. Really appreciate it. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody in the chat. Until next time, we'll reach out to these guys like in February to see if they have some time in February to come back on. We could talk issue 4.
Oh, definitely.
That sounds good.
Everyone, hope you had a great Thanksgiving. We'll talk soon. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.